Welcome to the July 13th, 2026 meeting of the Florissant City Council. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Harris.
Here.
Manganelli. Here. Egan. Here. Huda. Here. Shildroth. Here. O'Donnell. Here. Pagano. Here. Parson. Siam.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the regular meeting minutes of June 22nd, 2026? Hearing none, Councilman Caputa moves to approve the minutes, seconded by Councilman Siam. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is special presentations. We have a proclamation for Peroni's 50th anniversary.
Celebrating the 50th anniversary of Peroni's, whereas in 1976, Tony and Giovanna Peroni established Peroni's Pizzeria at 1933 Washington Street in the city of Florissant, laying the foundation for what would become one of the community's most cherished family restaurants. And whereas Rick Puckett and Jay Jaworski began their journey in Peroni's Pizzeria as dishwashers in 1980, demonstrating the values of hard work and dedication. And in 1989, proudly assumed ownership of the restaurant when Tony Peroni and his family returned to Italy. And whereas, under the leadership of Rick and Jay, Peroni's Pizzeria continued to grow and flourish, relocating to its current home at 1775 Washington Street in 2001 and expanding its ability to serve the community through opening the Peroni's Banquet Center in 2008. And whereas throughout its history, Peroni's Pizzeria has exemplified the spirit of generosity and community service by supporting local churches, providing meals to first responders, and even shipping frozen pizzas overseas to American service members stationed in Afghanistan, bringing a taste of home to those serving our nation. And whereas 50 years of success is a remarkable achievement made possible by the dedication of its owners, employees, and the loyal patrons whose support has made Peroni's Pizzeria a true Florissant landmark. Now, therefore, I, Timothy J. Lowry, Mayor of the City of Florissant, Missouri, and members of the Florissant City Council hereby honor and express our deepest appreciation to Peroni's for 50 years of excellence. I encourage all residents to join in celebrating this milestone and recognizing Peroni's Pizzeria for 50 years of outstanding service.
Is it on?
There we go.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to say congratulations. And this is Jake, who happens to be Rick Puckett, who passed away a few years ago, son, who has taken over that location along with Jay and Jerry. And I just want to say congratulations to you. I've known Jake since he was a little boy. His father was a very dear friend of mine, and how proud he would be of you. And there's one thing that I thought on the way here, though, that when you give people directions, you use Peroni's as a location. And everyone seems to know where Peroni's is. And when a competitor came in and wanted to be in the parking lot right next to you, if you listen to their answering machine, they say, we're next door to Peroni's. So, which is amazing. So it just goes to show what you've done and for all you do for the community and what your dad did for the community. And Jay, thank you, Jake. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So,
you're welcome.
Would you like to say anything?
Hi, I'd like just to thank everybody. It wouldn't be possible without Tony and Giovanna starting it in 1976, but my dad and Jay kept it going, and now I'm gonna do the same for many more years. So, thanks to the city of Florissant, thanks Jackie, and thanks to the mayor and everybody. I appreciate it so much.
That's good.
All right.
Next, we have a presentation of the MMC to City Clerk Savannah Burton. Welcome.
Good evening. I would say Mayor Laurie, but I didn't see him, so I guess he's not here tonight. But City Council, my name is Tracy Williams. I am a city clerk in the city of Flint Hill. Tonight with me, we also have
Dorothy Matthews, Patty Barbaglia, City of Flint Hill, June Frazier, City of Clayton,
Brenda Water, City of Bridgeton.
and
Melissa Burton, City of Overland.
so tonight we are here to recognize your city clerk, Savannah Burton, for achieving the designation of her Master Municipal Clerk for the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. This certification requires hours of education and experience, and Savannah has persevered in achieving this goal. So the IMC is made up of 15,000 members in 49 U.S. and 9 Canadian municipal clerk associations, and works toward providing education that is relevant to city clerks. We also want to thank you as elected city officials for supporting Savannah and working toward her certification. It always helps. In addition to serving as a city clerk, Savannah also currently serves as the vice president for the Missouri City Clerks and Finance Officers Association. So she's busy. On behalf of the Missouri City Clerks and Finance Officers Association and the Public Relations Committee, along with your friends and peers in the Eastern Division, we would like to present Savannah Burton with the Certificate of Recognition. Congratulations, Savannah. Thank you. Appreciate you coming.
I live down the street, I'm not far.
Congratulations. You got this for your minutes. I was giving to the city clerk for the minutes. Thanks.
And I just want to say thank you to you all again for allowing me to go to these conferences. I know it takes us out of the office, but I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
We appreciate you too. You're doing well.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And congratulations again, Savannah. Next, we have a presentation on information regarding Proposition H for Hazelwood School District. Mr. Christopher Norman, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. As Mr. Harris mentioned, I'm Chris Norman. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for the Hazelwood School District, and I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk about Proposition H that we have on the ballot on August 4th. So first of all, this Proposition H is different from 4 years ago, if you remember that Proposition H. That was a bond issue for capital projects, whereas this is a levy transfer issue. So I kind of broke it down into 5 main questions that we hear about it, and just kind of go through those. So first of all, what is Prop H, and why is the district asking voters to consider it in August? Well, Prop H is a zero rate change levy transfer that would allow the district to transfer part of its tax levy from debt service to operating funds. The operating funds pay for supplies, equipment, and most importantly, salaries for our staff. The district has placed Prop H on the ballot primarily due to a significant loss in state funding and the reality that this funding loss is likely to continue for the foreseeable future. So just in case you don't know what exactly is a levy transfer, the district's total tax rate is made up of two parts, the operating rate and the debt service rate. A levy transfer allows the district to transfer a portion of the debt service rate to the operating rate. And since Prop H would just transfer a portion of that, in this case 30 cents, the total tax rate is the same, which is why we're able to say this is a zero rate change proposition. If you think of it like a piece of pie, imagine that the pie is cut into 8 pieces. We put 5 on one table, 3 on the other. We decide to move 1 from this table to that. There's still 8 pieces, so we're not increasing the pie. We're just taking from one part and moving it to the other. So what challenges could the district face because of the funding reductions? The reality of the situation is that the state of Missouri did not fully fund education this past school year, and Hazelwood lost over $4 million in state funding. In addition, the senior property tax freeze that went into effect this last year, while it was good for many people, it did cost the district nearly another $1 million. Those losses will continue this coming year and probably longer, and may get worse at the state level, as you've probably seen in the news. So unfortunately, it's not a matter of challenges the district could face. The challenges are already here. We are proactively looking at options to reduce expenses without impacting students, the classroom, or programs important to students in the community. However, if Prop H does not pass, the district will have to look at major reductions to balance the budget. Now to the important question, will my taxes go up because of Prop H? Simply put, Prop H does not raise taxes. It is a zero rate change proposition. What is the key takeaway? Prop H is a way for the district to maintain academics and programs important to our students and families without raising taxes. I brought a little FAQ pamphlet I'll leave for you here, and I'll leave some at the back in case any of our audience would like to take it. And I'll also mention that our district website, hazelwoodschools.org, has a page dedicated to information that goes beyond what I've shared tonight. So I want to thank you again for the opportunity to share this with you and with the community.
Thank you. We appreciate the information.
Thank you.
Next presentation is a Stormwater Master Plan update. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening, council members. My name is Josiah Holst. I'm representing HR Green. We are the engineering and consulting company that you selected and hired to complete Stormwater Master Plan for Florissant. So we've wrapped up the plan, so I'm going to give you kind of a high-level overview, really focus on some next steps, some action items, kind of where do we go from here. Leave you with my contact information. Your staff certainly knows how to get a hold of me. If you have any further questions after this presentation, I'm happy to answer questions tonight as well. So I was here a few months ago, right before the holidays, and some of you may recall, kind of giving you an update about midway through the plan. And so, just a quick recap. We walked through the various phases of the process that we've gone through, and really we started looking at all kinds of problems. Stormwater problems throughout the community. We had about 50 problems that were identified through public input, through staff, and through some of you that provided input to us during that process. We went through that. We started prioritizing those problem areas. We visited 30 sites in person with our engineering team, looking at key factors so we could continue to prioritize and score those objectively so that you could ultimately have a prioritized list coming out of this. So that's what we've been doing the last few months is we've been developing solutions and costs and benefits so that now you have a prioritized list of projects to spend the funding that you do have in place, and I'm going to get into that here in a minute. So that's where you're at. You're ready. You've got a plan. Now you're ready to start implementing, so I'm going to talk through that with you. So here's a quick summary of some next steps, action items that I'm going to dig into a little bit. First, you've got using the MSD funding. So you do have some funding in the bank for OMCI. That may be a term familiar. That's an OMCI, a taxing district that was in place. So you do have some money in the bank there. And then Proposition S was the tax that MSD passed district-wide that now you have $350,000 a year moving forward on an annual basis to use for this program. Highly recommend continuing to pursue grants through the MDNR, EPA, FEMA, SEMA. That can also be a big funding source for you. So really, we're at the point where we've got a capital improvement plan for you. Again, this plan was put together to be in alignment with MSD's larger district-wide program, so highly encourage the plan and the projects that we've identified to go right in MSD's list as well, because they may get to those projects before the city has the funding available. That we have identified some floodplain-related strategies. That's a big topic, especially along Coldwater Creek here. So there's a large section of the report that digs into floodplain. We have reviewed your city code relative to stormwater, and we have identified a few recommendations in there in coordination with the staff that would be for further consideration. And then we also have identified some self-help programs for residents and property owners that may have the property-specific issues where they aren't on the list currently, but they do have a stormwater issue, so we've tried to identify some self-help things that they can do, maybe some best practices, some do's and don'ts for those folks. And ultimately, adopting this plan will get things moving. So we do have a plan. We've shared that with your staff. We can make that available for anybody that's interested in reviewing it. It's a 277-page document, lots of information. The meat of it is the 11 projects that we've got for your capital plan. There's also a lot of mapping information. Your staff utilizes GIS, and I think Gus and Joe Vrabel are at a GIS conference right now, so we wanted to make this a plan that they can use. GIS is very dynamic. That makes this a useful plan, a living document, if you will, moving forward, so it's easy to update as funding changes, as stormwater priorities change. And again, an actionable plan relative to funding that's in place now, hopefully building on that with some future funding in coordination with MSD. So we've come up with 11 projects that have been prioritized. This is just a quick map and snapshot. You can see various sites and projects scattered throughout the city. There's very detailed information in the plan for each of these sites. This is just a quick snapshot of some of that information that's in there for each project. We have a conceptual improvement exhibit with some detailed information. We have a narrative explaining what the problem, what the solution would be, and who it would be impacting and benefiting. We have detailed cost estimates, and we have benefit calculations that are right in alignment with MSD's program. Just a quick, this is one of the projects at the top of the list, just to kind of give you an example of what a project would look like. This is an area on Rue St. Charles Street where there's a couple of buildings that get water flooding into their basement from off-site drainage. And so an extension of the existing storm sewer to capture that water before it gets to those structures is the solution. Get the water into an extended pipe system that will benefit at least 2 properties there from getting flooding in their basement. Relatively inexpensive solution with a good benefit. Here's the list of the 11 projects ranked in priority based on the benefit to cost ratio. I'm not going to go through each one of these, but you can see that the top handful do have a pretty high benefit to cost ratio. These projects would rank high in MSD's overall plan that they have. So these are some projects worth pursuing. And you can see some of the top projects, are manageable in terms of cost overall, and then you do get some larger projects toward the bottom of the list that, do have benefit, but it's more costly and it requires a more expensive solution. The funding that I've mentioned, I mentioned the OMCI funding here. You've got about $780,000 that's been banked and that's available to the city as a starting point. And then, again, the Proposition S funding, where you're going to be accruing $350,000 a year. That's through a grant program that MSD has, where you essentially apply if you have a project, and then you get reimbursed after you've done the project, or as expenses are incurred. And then I've just listed out, I'm not going to get into some other outside funding sources, that there's many, many more, and we've touched on a few of those in the report, but funding scenarios are always changing, but that's a key way to fund some of these projects. Implementation. So we've kind of come up with a big spreadsheet that this helps try to summarize where we're going to provide your staff kind of how to cash flow things out from a year-to-year basis. So this just represents all those 11 projects. If you were to start this year, You can see at the bottom, we've got funding available start of the year. So you've got, those are in thousands of dollars. So you've got a little over $1 million as a starting point that you could start with. Then you've got funding spent, so the first couple of projects aren't that large. So to get design started and even construct one of the really, really small projects, you could do that in the first year, gives you your funding balance, and just kind of takes you on down the line. So you can see you could get started with a couple, 2, 3 projects a year for the first few years as you have some money banked and as the projects are a little smaller. Once you get to some of the larger projects, it's going to be, if with the current funding state, it would be, you have to wait and let the money pool up a little bit before you're ready to do that project unless you're able to secure some additional funds from outside sources. Again, this is just sort of a representative of what it could look like, but we're going to provide all that to the staff, as things get potentially moving. Mentioned MSD several times. Coordination with them is key. It has been up to this point. We've been in close coordination, so we're not duplicating efforts. They have their larger program. They have projects identified in Florissant that they're already doing, that they're planning, so that they're going to continue to do, and we plan to get this list of projects that we've developed into MSD's system as well to try to get more improvements made in Florissant. So it's one of the big benefits of doing this plan. The plan itself was funded by MSD, so it wasn't funded by the city of Florissant, so that was another benefit of doing this. So this is just the same slide that I had up there early as far as next steps, but if you have questions, I'll take them. Otherwise, I really appreciate the time and the opportunity to provide an update.
Looking to see if there's any questions. I don't see any. Okay, we appreciate it. Thank you for
all.
updating us.
Appreciate it.
The next item on the agenda is hearing from citizens. This is a time to speak to the council on any issue, not necessarily on the agenda for 3 minutes. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to a council member or the mayor, please stay until after the meeting is over. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when the public hearing is announced. Okay, our first comment card is Diva Young. Please come forward. This might be our other card. Are you also? Okay, and also we have Miss Erica Brooks. Okay, welcome. So please state your name and then you can start.
Hello, I'm Diva, and I am a store manager for Dollar Tree in Florissant on Dunn Road.
My name is Erica Brooks. I'm an assistant manager to the Dollar Tree on Florissant Road as well.
Whoever wants to go first, we'll give each of you 3 minutes.
Sure. So we're mainly here today. My main concern is safety in the store. We service a lot of people in our community. I shop at my store, she shops at the store, our family, friends, everyone. We have a lot of traffic in that store, and we're having a hard time with keeping the store safe. On a regular, I call for help with our police department 2 to 3, 4 times a day, just for people coming in, taking things boldly, walking in. Since I've been the store manager there, I have lowered the shrink and the safety concerns. However, I am in the way. So now I'm a target. Recently, I have been verbally assaulted, shall I say, with death threats. And it's concerning. I've reported it to my employer. I've reported a lot of things to the police department. Like I said, I call every day, every time something happens. So I'm just at the point now where I need help. I need help.
Okay. Also, we wanted to know how to have Dollar Tree as a substation, or something where you all can have a police car on the parking lot. My manager is putting it real mild as far as what we go through every day. She had one person in particular that set up shop in front of the store. He boldly put his blanket over the bike rack, airing out his clothes, laid out his blanket to where he told her, I'm not moving until I get someplace to stay. This is where I'm at. You know, yesterday, I had to call the police because she's called him about 3 or 4 times before I got there, as far as being employed. But just yesterday, he boldly came back because it was an officer that came there and told him, I don't care where you go. You can go up under that bridge, get out of Florissant, go to Hazelwood, do what you want to do, but don't come back here because it was a written warning for him on you all's record to not come back to our store. But he, like I said, he came back and he had asked a person, obviously outside, for some money. So he boldly came in the store, walked up to her, and she put her purse down, was getting ready to give him. I said, no, you're not going to do that in this store. No, you need to leave out the store now. So he looked past me, went to another customer and asked him to buy him some socks. I said, you need to leave out of this store. So he walked out the door, talking, saying, calling me all kind of names. I went outside to take a picture to show that he was on the property. And when I went out there, he kept calling me names. So you know what? I'm calling the police. So I did call the police. He did show up, and he said he was going to go look for him. But it's just the fact that he is, terrorizing us, at the store. And as far as her talking about death threats, the person, this was Friday when she got this death threat, this past Friday, where this guy said, what did he say to you? And not only him, he threatened the owner at 7-Eleven.
Yeah. And it was customers.
Come on, so you need to come to the mic so they can hear you.
The guy is a repeat thief. He comes in all the time, and I mean, he's bold. They know what they want. They're in and out within 60 seconds. So we've had to move all the electronics to the front. We've had to take all the book bags off the shelves. We had to take all of the totes out of the store. We shouldn't have to work like that. Now we're worried about our life. I have a family. I have to get back home, but I also have to work.
Tell him what he said to you. What did he say?
I was outside talking to the owner of the 7-Eleven, and he just walked up and just said, excuse my French, out of respect to every one of you. But this is what he said to me and her. He said, I'm going to kill you, bitch. And he kept saying it. He kept saying it. He said it and said it and said it. And so the owner of the 7-Eleven, she told me later on that he came to the store afterwards and got up in her face like he was going to hit her.
Yeah. Can I?
It's not okay.
Yeah, we hear you. Councilman Egan wants to.
Yeah, if I
Yes,
could just
sir.
jump in. Have you talked to Chief Fagan or
No.
Major Bowden or Major Godfrey?
No, I wouldn't have even known about this, sir, if
So
it wasn't
what's
for
the
her.
address of your store, ma'am?
I'm sorry.
What's the address of that dollar store?
129 Dunn Road. It's right around the corner.
So I'm going to refer your name to Chief Fagan tonight. I'll do that. And
Thank you.
I can tell you someone will be contacting you tomorrow.
Thank you so
And
much.
we'll talk to you tomorrow about the situation, okay?
Thank you, because I followed policy with Dollar Tree, reporting
Right.
it, calling, just asking for a walkthrough, whatever I need. And it's just a cycle. They know what they want. They know the timing. I could call the dispatcher, and the dispatcher is, I know they have to ask questions, but if I was a dispatcher, I've never been a dispatcher, but I've seen movies. If I was a dispatcher, there would be specific questions that I would ask so that I can get to the point of what I need so I can get you help. Because my issue is, what if somebody comes in one day and says, I don't want the stuff anymore, I want the money?
Yeah, I think we can for sure find some solutions and find some steps in the right direction here. Mr. Shildroth.
Yes, ma'am, that's in my ward, and I will speak to the chief tonight along with Mr. Egan.
Yeah.
So you're going to
We'll
have,
get some response,
you're going to have a
promise.
remedy
Yeah.
to this issue, I can guarantee you that.
Thank you.
We don't want to see
Yes,
this
ma'am.
happen.
We
I
don't-
have my cell phone number, hers is included, our emails, you can
okay.
come to the store, anything you need, we're willing to cooperate, we just want to serve our
Sure,
community.
I understand, you shouldn't be
We'll
having
get
to go
in
through
touch.
that.
Let's-
I
have
totally
one more-
agree.
One more comment to say, which is really important. Because she has called so many times, it was an officer that actually came to her store and told her that she was calling too much. And this is, like I said, after this guy has done what he's done and boldly set up shop in front of her place, and he said, you know, the officer came into the office with her by herself, because I wasn't able to go in there, and said that she was calling too much.
We hear it, and we think we'll get a response for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much for
Okay,
sharing.
thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is communications, and there are none this evening. The next item on the agenda is public hearings. Public hearing number 2606026.
In accordance with Section 405-135 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, July 13th, 2026 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to amend ordinance number 7423 for Christopher Winters, DBA White Castle Systems, Inc., to paint brick exterior walls in a B5 Plan Commercial District located at 840 North Highway 67. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Is the petitioner present from White Castle this evening? Okay, and please come forward. Welcome.
Hi, welcome.
State your names. Yeah.
My name is Darren Cotton. I'm the Director of Operations for White Castle. I manage 32 stores in Missouri, 6 on the Illinois side, and 14 in Minnesota.
Thank you.
Christopher Winters, Service Supervisor. I manage all the stores in the St. Louis region.
And I'm Haley Barnes with Smith Pro Commercial Painting.
Okay, will you tell us about your project here?
Yes, so this is a rebranding.
Speak into the microphone. Do we have online so people can hear you?
Okay.
They listen.
Yes, this is a national project by our home office to improve the quality of our buildings and our national brand with the colors, blue stripe, orange stripe, white paint, and it's something we've been doing nationwide. And we've done several stores in the St. Louis area, Florissant, Bell Fountain, but we didn't know that here we needed a permit. So we didn't make a lot of people happy, so we want to see if we can finish off the project because half the stores painted, half the stores exposed brick, and it is a very, very bad eyesore.
Okay. So sounds simple enough. Are there questions? We have Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome, gentlemen, ma'am. Drove by today, and my questions were, is this every store doing it? You said it's a part of a national rebranding. So every store is going to be painted. My thought on that, though, is just, you know, I have kind of a franchise of a national thing, and not everything that a corporation says is in the best interest. My problem with this is the painting of the brick itself. Once you paint a brick, it can no longer breathe. And you have maintenance issues where it blisters, different things such as that. The mortar underneath, like I said, there's several problems down the road, and it does become an eyesore down the road. Instead of having a white unfinished brick, you now have a blistered mess that has to be taken care of several times. So I guess, ma'am, my question would be to you.
Yes.
The paint that's being used, how long is it going to take before the blisters begin?
I'm sorry for the blistering.
How long will it take before, you know, the blistering, the moisture getting behind the paint, all that kind of stuff? When does that begin?
So
how long is the warranty?
So, I mean, usually with this paint, this is why we use the specific paint. It's called a Loxon XP. It's a primer and a finish all in one. And basically, it has actually like very good moisture resistance. So it performs a durable barrier against wind-driven rain and exterior moisture. helps reduce water penetration into the brick and mortar, which can contribute to staining and weathering. So right now we have a half-painted, one-coated building, and if we remove all that paint on one side, I can't guarantee that the brick is going to look the same after, because you got to chemically strip it, and that will perform some damage. And this is what we use for all masonry products. We've had very, very good recommendation about it. I'd say 7 to 15 years is usually when we do a repaint of an exterior with masonry. And it all just depends. You can just power wash it, and some people get away with that. It's very easy to clean. It holds up very, very well.
Okay. All right. Okay, that answers my questions.
Councilman Egan.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Your guarantee on this paint, though, is only till April of 2027, correct?
I'm sorry, that last
I
part?
thought I read somewhere in the P&Z minutes that you have a 1-year warranty on this?
A 1-year warranty?
I think that's the labor is 1 year.
Yeah.
I think that the paint's 10.
Yeah, that's the laboring cost, or that's the labor side of it, not the material.
Okay. My next comment is I went by there today, and this is not related to paint as much as there's been some orange fencing up in the back for quite some time. I guess there was some type of storm or some flood that washed that out, and in front of that has now overgrown pretty bad. What is your timetable on getting that up to speed?
Well, I just met with MSD a month ago, and it's the erosion that's taking place, and it's actually Coldwater Creek. And the fencing is a temporary safety barrier now, so nobody stumbles across. So we haven't came up with a permanent fix, but I'm working with the Home Office to come up with more of a permanent barrier. And one of the recommendations was to move our fence back so we can catch more solid ground and move it away from the erosion.
Okay, then my last comment was, in that rock area right along, I guess that's Patterson, or the street that leads to Patterson, man, there was a lot of trash there today. If we could maybe make some effort to pick up that trash. Some of that trash was clearly not from this weekend. It's been there for quite some time, and overall, I think the property looks pretty good, but just that area, that little white rock area, really had some trash in it. And personally, I think we'd appreciate if you guys made an effort to police it a little bit more often.
Okay, we'll do as such.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Pagano.
Hi. Okay, I drove by also. So the side that is on the window side, the pickup window side, that has one coat on?
Yes.
And how many coats are you putting on?
We usually do 2, just depending how it holds up.
I mean, because right now, it doesn't even look like it.
No, it doesn't
that
look-
bottom. It doesn't, honestly.
It does not look very good right now. That's because they sprayed it on sloppily because they knew it's going to be 1 coat, and then we would have fixed it up right away, but obviously we had other things come up.
Okay, so on that picture, on the bottom there, you have stone? Are you replacing the tan brick with stone?
No, that was just an example of one of the ones we recently did, so we wanted to give you kind of an idea of what the white would look like in the blue stripe, but that's a different build. It doesn't have the stone. That location will be painted white top to bottom, and then just the 2 stripes on the top.
Okay, the problem, and I'm going to be honest with you, there was another large chain who was here. They painted their brick, and they stripped all their brick because we just don't allow it, and it worked, and it is now stained. Is there not a white stain that can be put on that brick?
So we don't really typically recommend putting stainer on brick all the time. Stain will properly, I don't believe the stain will properly penetrate and potentially cause adhesion and aesthetic issues, but that's what I get from my paint rep. He tells me what I'm supposed to, excuse me, what I'm supposed to use, and they always recommend to not stain masonry or brick, so that's usually what we stick with. This Loxon XP is specifically made for it, and it's specifically made for the weather, and it's actually, there's a reason it's so expensive, is because it does hold up. And then I understand if you see some other buildings and they may not look as good, but I can guarantee they probably didn't use the same product.
Right, and I'm not saying that theirs didn't look good. looked
Yeah,
just fine.
no,
I
I'm
mean,
sure it did.
It's probably been close to 10 years, give or take a few. Of that, and the staining still looks good. I just don't know how we go about it. I'm sorry that you already started it.
Yeah.
I will have a big problem with the painting. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the council? Okay. All right, I think that's all we have. And,
All right. I do want to note too, if you guys do want it stripped, that is always a possible, I mean, that's always something we can go with as well. I just wanted to let you, if you do want it stripped, that is always something we can go with as well. Like I said, I don't always recommend it because it can mess with the staining a little bit, but I understand it's whatever you guys prefer.
I'm sorry. I just want to add that, as many of you guys know, White Castle has been a staple in the St. Louis community for 100 years. The two stores in Florissant, Missouri, is our two busiest stores in the city of Chicago and ranked top 10 in the nation. And so we take pride in our buildings. You know, if we paint it today and it need to be painted 5 years from now, it's going to get painted. Our appearance and how things look is near and dear to our heart. Councilman mentioned that the area is trash. I guarantee you I'll be there first thing in the morning. And I got 52 restaurants to worry about, but this is a priority for us. And so, you know, we appreciate it. Just want to add that.
We appreciate you too. Actually, I wanted to say I knew that this was a top grossing store here, and
it is.
I'll never forget what y'all did for Angie's Playground.
Exactly.
As well. So I do want to, you know, tell you how much I appreciate it. I'm a big fan too. Not everybody in my family is. Either you are or you aren't, right? But
yeah.
So we're going to follow this process, get public comment, and then and at our next meeting, then we'll resume the conversation. And yeah.
All right. You kept me employed for 29 years.
Yeah. So yeah, big fan. All right.
Okay.
So thanks so much for being
Thank
here
you.
and explaining this. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? All right. Welcome. Please state your name and.
I am Lou Geralds, live at 1355 Swallow Lane, Florissant, Missouri 63031.
Thank you.
Do we have a camera? Can we use this?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. President, honored members of the City Council, I'm here before you tonight to respectfully yet emphatically request that you deny White Castle's request to paint their brick restaurant at 840 North Highway 67. Thank you. I am here before you as a private resident and as a voting member, Planning and Zoning Commission. And for the life of me, I did not understand how the Planning and Zoning Commission voted to approve the painting of White Castle's brick restaurant. Several years ago, we had a church paint their brick building. I was not at the P&Z meeting, but I asked them on what basis, what criteria did they use to approve the painting. They gave me several answers, and yet they agreed that none of these answers were sufficient from a zoning point of view to grant approval for painting brick. And I put that in a memo of dated 9/7/24 to the City Council entitled Painted Brick. So again, after the P&Z meeting this time around, I asked several folks why they approved the painting of the brick at White Castle and got the following responses. It would be too expensive for them to remove the paint. It would not look good after they removed the paint. Two sides were already painted, so what else could we do? And they felt sorry for the petitioner. I submit that none of these reasons are appropriate from a zoning point of view, legitimate reasons for P&Z to even consider, much less enough for them to grant approval. I also disagree that it would not look good after removal. About 20 years ago, the commercial brick building at 2938 and 2950 Durhacky Road had its painted surface removed, and it looks beautiful today. And I've got a picture of that here. and I would submit that that would look pretty good with any city. If you went by and looked at that building, you couldn't tell if that's ever been painted. So back in 1990, they knew how to take paint off a brick. And so I don't see a problem with doing it now again. So it looks beautiful today without hint that it was ever painted. Folks are making a rash and an uninformed decision that are just plain wrong. I'm quite sure that technology, materials, and equipment can do at least an equal, if not better job today. And I know what some of you are probably thinking, that, well, up close, you're going to see white pigment in the brick. So I took a picture of a close-up. And you can walk up to that building and you're not going to be able to tell unless you got a magnifying glass that's ever been painted. So that argument to me is just not an argument. Again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I feel folks don't fully understand the problems created for the owner and the city when you paint brick and masonry, such as paint traps moisture, no getting around it, which leads to peeling paint. Trapped moisture in the brick and mortar leads to deterioration and spalling of both the brick and the mortar due to freeze-thaw. Trapped moisture may lead to accelerated mold and mildew issues and possibly a sick building problem, which is not great for a restaurant. We require exterior building materials to last at least 25 years. Brick and masonry will last 100 to 150 years, yet painting will only last 5 or 10 years before it's going to need a little touch-up, and maybe repainting every 12 to 15 years. But the problem also is now the city has to inspect brick buildings and initiate maintenance or legal proceedings as needed. As an example, I reported 4 brick buildings to the Public Works Department in March of 2025 last year, and after several emails, still nothing has been done. Apparently, the owners just refuse to maintain their painted brick building. They think it looks great. So, painting a brick building is a needless and senseless problem for the owner in the city. We trade a maintenance-free exterior that is good for 100, 150 years for one only good for 12 to 15 years. Makes no sense. Besides creating a problem for the owner and the city to try and keep track. Another point to consider, there was absolutely no good reason to no acceptable reason for P&Z to grant approval of painting the brick at White Castle, yet there are abundant reasons to deny it. We are setting ourselves up as a city where it is easier to ask forgiveness than it is to ask permission. This promotes the idea that you don't need a permit in Florissant. Just go ahead and do it, and if you get caught, just ask forgiveness. So is that what we're trying to do? As a reminder, we require permits for a lot of things. We don't do it for a permit fee. We require permits and approvals to protect the general health, safety, and welfare of our residents, businesses, and general public, and to help prevent problems now and in the future. When the original ordinances were drafted for the Planning and Zoning Commission, engineers were to serve, bringing a level of training and experience to the commission. You would be hard-pressed to find an engineer from Rolla, one who worked in construction, one who was a licensed professional engineer in Missouri, who is manager of the materials testing laboratory for the city of St. Louis, certified planner in charge in Missouri, 37 years experience enforcing codes and ordinances for the city, and a total of 57 years of training and experience. Yet, the city code was specifically wrote so you won't have to rely on one person. Chapter 405, Zoning Code, Article 12, Landmarks and Historic District Commission, Section 405, 445, Paragraph 13, makes reference to the U.S. Department of Interior if you need technical assistance. So you don't have to take my word for it. You can go to an expert second to none who has protected and preserved historic brick and masonry structures for decades nationwide under all environmental conditions. The National Park Service is part of the U.S. Department of Interior and is where I obtained a majority of my information on painting, or rather, not painting brick and masonry buildings. You can therefore accept my research, or you can do your own research. I assure you I won't be offended. Another point I'd like to raise is that a previous city council went through considerable effort to review and approve an unpainted White Castle restaurant in this location, a clay-fired brick building never to be painted. Is our present City Council going to lightly ignore past council preferences and approvals? Is this City Council okay with future City Councils negating your approvals and preferences? I would think past councils would rather have you uphold their approvals and preferences as you prefer future City Councils to uphold yours. Let me also point out that White Castle chose all the colors and materials for their existing brick building. They were not dictated by the city. Now, I fully understand that change is inevitable, in many cases welcomed, even encouraged, but we should make positive, progressive changes for the better, not regressive, problematic changes. I therefore respectfully request, and I respectfully request on behalf of the 2007 City Council, and I think, Keith, you were on that council, who approved this unpainted brick White Castle building, you want it to stay unpainted, and that you deny White Castle's request to paint their brick building. Therefore, thereby fully upholding Ordinance 7423 as adopted and approved by the City Council of 2007. However, if White Castle is absolutely insistent on spending money and upgrading their White Castle, then may I suggest installing white stone veneer over the tan-colored brick like their White Castle in Fenton. If you take a look at that, that's a nice building. Now, this is a very nice looking White Castle, classy, distinctive, eye-catching, a building that any city would welcome and be proud to have in their city, which begs the question, why does Fenton get a classy, beautiful, first-class brick and stone White Castle, and we get a paint job? We get a cheap white paint job instead of a quality first-class upgrade. Are we not a first-class city? We should act like one, and we should expect people to treat us like one. It's time for White Castle to show us some first-class respect. Show us they want to be in our city. Show us they love our city. Show us they are dedicated, committed to the city codes, ordinances, customs, and culture, and that they are not going to sell out when the paint starts to peel in 10 to 15 years. They need to show us an undeniable, absolute, full-blown, long-term financial commitment to our city with the first-class upgrade, not a cheap white paint job. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for sharing your comments. Okay. Are there any other comments? Yes, sir.
Just a really quick comment.
Sure, state your name for the record.
Darren Cotton again, Director of Operations. The building that he put up, we are painting that one as well. So the stone won't be, but the building will be painted white as well. Okay. It's a national project, so.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Shoulder.
So you're going to do the same thing to the one in Fenton? That's what you're saying?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Please state your name for the record.
Haley Barnes, Smithboro Commercial Painting.
Thank you.
I just wanted to state really quick, just because my boss, I mean, we've been in business since 1998. We have a very, very good reputation in Bridgeton and Maryland Heights. We would never, ever just start painting something without having a permit that we're a subcontractor. That doesn't ever fall on us. We've never had to do that since we've been open. We take pride in our painting. We would never do a cheap job. We are union people. We're union laborers, and they take pride in their work. So I just want to let you know that, yeah, it's not that we chose to just ignore the permit. We were under the impression that we had it. So sorry again, but thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no further comments, Councilman O'Donnell moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Egan. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? This public hearing is closed. Public hearing number 2606028.
In accordance with Section 405-135 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, June 22nd, 2026 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. To amend ordinance number 9184 for Dr. Yaki DBA Dr. Yaki Rafa Elohim Holistic Clinic for the installation of a wall sign exceeding 40 square feet in AB5 planned commercial district located at 660 Charbonnier. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Is the petitioner present? Dr. Yaki or anyone representing? Okay. This is, we had postponed this to this evening, so I think we're just going to move on to the next. Okay. Yes, sir.
Move that we would accept any comments from the council or from the
That's a good idea.
audience, and at the end of that, I'll move to close the public hearing.
Okay. Did anyone come tonight to speak on this public hearing? Okay. Seeing none. Are there any more council comments? Okay.
I'll just make one if I can real quick.
Yes,
I noticed in the P&Z notes it said that in unusual circumstances or special circumstances, this amendment could take place. I don't see anything unusual about this building, this property, this business, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Egan. Okay. Without further action, we'll move on. We don't. Okay, he moved to close. Is there a second to
Yeah,
close?
I have moved to close the public hearing.
Second to close. Seconded by Caputa. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Okay. Next is public hearing number 2607030.
In accordance with Section 405-180 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, July 13th, 2026 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. To approve the final plat of River Bluffs Plat 1 located in a planned development residential district, PDR, citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Is the petitioner present this evening? Okay. Welcome. State your name and tell us about the project.
I'm Zach Mueller from McBride. Yeah, we're looking to get this first plat approved of 51 lots. So, yeah.
Okay, so this is the Bluffs, River Bluffs.
Correct.
I was looking at the plans today. Let me look back at it. Bear with me here. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so this portion is, I think, 51.
Correct.
51
yeah.
properties here. Okay. The side by Marygrove along Malamphy, looks like 25 feet buffer there between there and the road. Is that right?
Let's see. I believe so, yeah. We're talking about, well, it's kind of hard to, but yeah, I see what you're talking about, yep.
Okay, and then on the, I would believe it would be like the south side where it butts up to Woodside Plat 19. There, will those homes have their fence lines right on the property line there, or is there a little bit of room there? Space between the other common ground there and the fence lines? Or maybe fences are not allowed, I don't know. I'm not sure what the HOA rules will be.
Based off of the plat, it looks to be that it butts right up against it. I think this is the corner you're talking about. Are these the lots?
Yeah, there, and if you move your finger up to your left, I guess. No, the other way. Yep, right there. Yep.
Yes,
Right
it
there.
looks like it'll butt right up against that.
Okay. I think there's I saw a grading page on there that shows, was one of those two figures, there was AA and BB, right? I couldn't tell if that had to do with that area at all, if there was going to be any grading along there that, I guess what I'm asking is, I think there's kind of a hill there, maybe in their yards, but I can't tell without a trained eye.
Yeah, I don't recall the grading plan off the top of my head, but we've had work going on out there for a little bit. And I went out there about a week ago to look over everything, and I think I remember what you're recalling on that side where it kind of slopes down.
I guess my concern would be, and maybe this will be addressed in a way that I don't know is or could be, is that neighbors might want to put an entrance to their backyard there and go in and out through land that would not be their common ground right there. Nothing against them, but the other neighbors butt up against it and maintain that common ground, right? But with those fences coming right up against it, that would be my concern is there anything in the indentures or anything that would prevent that?
I don't have that answer at the top of my head,
Okay.
But I can definitely double check on that.
Okay, yeah, that would be my one concern probably, is sort of just how that butts right up against the other common ground, right? So in some ways, that neighborhood there enjoys the common ground right behind them, but they don't pay for it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So looking for a solution there or some kind of assurance. This is my ward.
Yeah.
This is close. I know these people, right? And so these are the questions I'm going to get. So
Yeah.
that's my question, mainly. I do see that there is an entrance to the neighborhood there. Right on the corner, there's that right to the bottom right there, the X area there. Is that this? Yeah, the little entrance and exit to the cul-de-sac there.
Yeah, I believe that's an easement.
An
right
easement?
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that'd be just open grass? Is that what it'll be, or? would that
It'll
paved?
be maintained enough for access, so I can't imagine any large trees, but more than likely, yeah, just grass.
Okay, okay. All right. I think that's all I have for now. Councilman Egan.
Really quick, when we approved this originally, I thought this was presented to us, there was a trail that was going to be kind of incorporated in this. I did not see that it's still on the plan.
If it is, I'm fairly new to this project. I took it over from one of our other project managers. That I'm not aware of a trail, but that also could be in a separate part of the plat, with this just being on that right side off Malamphy.
Well, originally there was a trail that was going to go around the neighborhood to
Correct.
that area, but because of the steepness, apparently, it could be built there, and because lack of land right there, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do believe that on this drawing there is a trail that goes along Bluff Drive there. Paul, that's right. That's Bluff Drive, right? Bluff Parks Drive. Okay, and I think that's a 10-foot wide trail that runs parallel to Bluff Parks Drive on the south end of there, and then it looks like it just goes into a sidewalk.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Sorry, yeah. And I don't think this includes the, I'm sorry, Councilman Egan, is that it? Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So we don't know anything yet about the trail that's going to go down towards the river there yet on this plan. It's not on this plan, I don't think.
Yeah, it'll be on
a subsequent plan. Okay. All right. Are there any other questions or comments about this? All right, thanks. I think that's it. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Okay. Seeing none, Councilman Cyan moves to close this public hearing. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The public hearing is closed. Public hearing number 2607031.
In accordance with Section 405-125 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, July 13th, 2026 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. To authorize a special use for WFM LLC DBA STL Fish and Chicken Grill to allow for a quick service restaurant in a B2 Central Business District located at 12745 New Halls Ferry Road. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Is the petitioner present? Welcome. Please state your name and tell us about your project.
Hi, my name is Faisal Swillam. I'm here with my father, Wasif Swillam. We are the owners of WFM LLC. Our plan is to open up a serve-to-go restaurant, STL Fish and Chicken Grill. Our background, we've owned businesses in Florissant for roughly the past 20 years. Started in a donut shop, and then we did convenience stores for roughly 18 years on Patterson Road. We transitioned out of the convenience store business. Myself, I also work in manufacturing in Worldwide Technologies and worked in food manufacturing before that as well in Nature's Bakery in Hazelwood. So alongside with my father, we want to open up this business and continue growing. Food is a passion of mine and my father's as well. We want to open up a business to serve good quality food, to maintain quality and serve the community.
Thank you. Councilwoman Parson.
Hi, good afternoon, or good evening. This is in my ward. Can you tell us exactly where you will be located or where you want to be located?
Yes, we are in New Halls Ferry Plaza. We'll be located right next to the subway, right there on the left side of the plaza.
Left side of the subway, absolutely. So when I tried to contact over the weekend, they stated that you were out of the country. That's not you, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
right.
so you're very much here.
Yes.
Absolutely. So do you own the other St. Louis Fish and Chicken, or?
No, ma'am. So ours will be named STL Fish and Chicken, different from there. Reason I picked that name, it's not much different, but a lot of these restaurants that hold the same type of food call themselves different states and different that, but the food itself is very St. Louis-based food. And so I wanted to stick to that and show the culture of St. Louis. So we named it STL. And for uniforms, I plan to have everybody wearing St. Louis teams uniforms, Cardinals, Blues, soccer. I want to show the different St. Louis cuisine and St. Louis culture in it and represent St. Louis.
Beautiful. So you said this is going to be takeout only?
Yes.
So there's no small dining area for them
No,
to
ma'am.
eat?
It'll be just a counter on top, some fridges, some seats for people to wait for their orders, but no seating for food.
Beautiful. And your hours of operation, it says from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this Monday through Sunday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And no alcoholic beverages will be
No.
served?
No alcohol.
And how many employees are you looking to hire?
It just varies. I think probably at the beginning, probably anywhere from 2 to 4, not many, but as business grows, we'll probably grow with our staff as well. But
Okay.
it should be very minimal to run the operation.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome, Mr. Swalm. So you said you're not associated with any of the other locations?
No, sir. Those are, I know there's in that type of restaurant, there's a New York grill, a Miami grill, there's a St. Louis grill in the city, but I don't believe any in Florissant.
So, because I saw several St. Louis Fish and Chicken.
Yes. So we're STL. We'll be different than them.
Okay. So I thought I saw 4 others.
Yeah, they're not. We're not associated with them
okay.
at all.
Okay. All right, well, that answers a lot of questions, and, but the things that remain are, how much of your windows do you plan on covering with signs or anything like that?
We're not, we're going to leave pretty visibility to the outside.
Okay.
We will have, your open sign and some marketing strategy, but visibility, whatever is permitted in the zoning is what we'll make
So
sure.
you're very aware of the 15% then?
Yeah.
The other thing too then, I did drive by the plaza. It's a very crowded plaza.
Yes.
Lots of trash in the parking lot there. Do you have any plans of what you could do to help with that?
Yes,
issue?
so I know talking with the owner, Tom, he's big on making sure to work on towards cleaning up the parking lot, keeping it clean. As long as myself, I hold pride in any business I own to hold quality and cleaning, simply because we're going to be serving food. I will be making sure that in our area is clean and having employees to go out there sweep. We'll have trash cans outside to make sure to keep the area as clean as we can.
Okay. It's a very crowded lot too. We drove by Saturday afternoon. I don't think there was one available spot. But my last thing, I imagine you're going to go through a lot of cooking oil, and you have no back door. So where do you plan to go with all of your used oil?
Correct. So the way we address this issue is when planning and zoning, we're going to put a oil dumpster in the back, and then I will make sure that we have the proper equipment and tools to carry it around to the other side and dump it. I'll make sure that my team is processes graded, developed, and then make sure that they're all trained in it to do it efficiently and as up to quality and safety as possible.
Okay. And then as far as, will you have your own dumpster, or is there a community dumpster for the building?
I will have to check with just the landlord. If we need to get our own, we will make sure one is put in. It also depends, I believe, on how much trash over time we'll be using. If it gets to the point where we would need another one, we can just call over and have another one sent in.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see any more lights on for the council. I think that's all the questions we have for you. Thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Seeing none, Councilwoman Parson moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilwoman Pagano. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The public hearing is closed. The next item on the agenda is old business. The first item is bills for second reading. Bill number 10236. I've been made aware that there on this bill, I think there was a change in the language that didn't make it into the agenda this evening. So we will need to continue this to our next meeting, which is, what's our next meeting? Which is July 20th, 26. So can I get a motion to continue? Motion to continue. Councilman Egan moves to continue, seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The bill has been continued to next meeting. Okay, bill number 10238. Councilman O'Donnell moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Shildroth. Discussion. Councilman Egan.
Thank you. If you all recall last meeting, which was 3 weeks ago, I sat here and I described the conditions of this plaza as deplorable. I further said that I would not support this ordinance until the owner of the plaza cleaned it up. I went by there last Wednesday, 2 weeks and 2 days after that comment, and it is also my understanding that the city has sent a warning letter to the owner of the property. And I took pictures of trash that was there, of fencing that was down, of grass that had not been cut, and as of today is still not cut. Additionally, there's furniture in the back. There's sheet metal lying around. An 8-foot by 6-foot wooden fence is lying on its side. Unauthorized dumpster is there. I got out of my car and I almost vomited from the smell of either the grease pit that's open or one of the unauthorized dumpsters. The bottom line is I am not going to support this. This is a slum property. We gave them 3 weeks and they did nothing, not even cut the grass or pick up the trash that's been there for at least a week. You all can vote your conscience, but my vote will be no on this. Thank you very much.
So we have a motion for a second, and all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a special use for the Stephen Group to operate a construction contractor at 1171A North Highway 67 and AB3 Extensive Business District.
I'll move for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Manganelli. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a special use for the Stephen Group to operate a construction contractor at 1171 North Highway 67 and a B3 Extensive Business District.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Good evening, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Lou Geralds. I live at 1355 Swallow Lane, Florissant, Missouri, 63031. I think the last time I was here on this particular topic, that one paragraph, 13, it didn't say whether we were for or against all this construction noise and what have you. So when our inspectors go out and they write them up, you know, the ordinance, it needs to say whether it's permitted or prohibited.
You were correct.
And I didn't know if you'd done that.
We did. We were going to address that. And
oh, okay. I looked online.
Yeah, we're going to address that. That's why. Yeah. Are you talking about the previous one?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to address.
Well,
that.
I looked on the one that was there tonight. It was online,
right.
and
yeah,
it still wasn't corrected. So
that's why that's why we had to continue it.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks. That's all I got.
This one right here. Do we not change that? Okay. Okay, thank you.
I'm sure you want to prohibit it.
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
So regarding Mr. Gerald's comment, there was no direction on whether we were changing, this would be number 13, line 44, where it's construction and repair work. Line 46 details causes noise, loud or disturbing noise, except between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and 9 a.m. through 8 p.m. on Sunday. However, the hours of operation listed on line 31 are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. So there's some discrepancy. So we just need clarification on whether we want the item 13 to reflect the hours of operation listed in item 1.
It seems like it would be okay for the noise to be earlier than the opening time, but certainly you would want the ending of the noise time to be after the closing time.
I don't know whether the time was the issue.
That's one issue that we do have, though.
Okay.
Yeah. To prohibit the noise.
To prohibit's the one.
So there's some words that are missing as well, which is
right.
what Mr. Gerald is saying, which is in that line, that same line, it says causes loud or disturbing noise except between the hours. It should really be is prohibited except between the hours, or is not allowed except between the hours. So
Okay.
that's issue 1, and then issue 2 is I think that 7 a.m. should be 8 a.m.
Okay, just to match the opening hours.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be able to amend that. right now?
Someone will, yes, someone will
Okay.
need to make a motion.
So I'm going to move to amend the, first I'm going to change that line, okay? Line 13, to add that,
Shall be prohibited except between the hours.
right, shall be prohibited except between the hours of, and we're going to make it 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
No, you can leave 8 p.m.
to 8 p.m.
Just change the 7 a.m. to
8 a.m. So the hours of operation are until 9 p.m. in the first line.
I think the issue is that what the recommendation is that they not be able to be loud until 9 p.m. They can only be loud until 8
Even
p.m.
if they're open.
Even if they're open until.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so I've made a motion to reflect that it says prohibiting the loud noises and changing the start time of the prohibition to 8 a.m. Is there a second for that?
I will say 8 a.m. or later.
Okay. Does everybody understand? Okay, Councilman Egan seconds. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion is approved. Okay, so let's see. Right, are there any other comments on this from the public? Okay, Ms. Irvin.
I want to talk about, hi, Debbie Irvin, Building Commissioner.
Yes.
I want to talk about the property, and I know, Mr. Egan, you're very passionate about the exterior part of the property, but we do have it in the staff report what the owner's responsibility is for this property, and I don't want us to hold the use to the building code violations. That is something that we have to address totally separate. So we can't tie what's happening with the owner to the applicant's use in his request tonight. So I wish you would reconsider that thought as you go forward. But we are working with the owner. We do know that that property is cut every 3 to 4 weeks. We have been in touch with the owner. The inspector for commercial properties from the health department is constantly in contact. We are aware of the dumpster that's been there, but we cannot find any company to come and pick that up. Because when it was sold, it was full then, and that was 2 years ago. So we have been working and calling myself and the inspector from the health department to try to make this right. But I don't want us to hold the applicant to the exterior part of this property. We will hold the owner responsible for that.
Thank you for that information. Appreciate that. Are there any other comments? Okay, hearing no further comments, clerk, please poll the council for the final. Okay, I didn't see it, sorry. Councilman Caputa.
Did you say the time that they could work is what's the time limit now?
So they can be open until 9 p.m. They just cannot have loud noises or disturbing noises.
What time?
Until 8 p.m. 8 p.m.
What time in the morning?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
It was 7 a.m. We changed it to 8 a.m.
It's
Now,
8 a.m. Monday through
Don't the regular
Saturday.
contractors say any of our contractors that we hire to do work, they can start at 7 a.m., correct?
I don't know. Are you asking about within the noise ordinance?
Deborah, is that true? 7 a.m.? Say like if M&H comes in and they want to do street repair, they can't start before 7 a.m. unless they have a special permit?
That is correct. And so if we look in section 210.75010, it gives us that language. And so the language that's being discussed is copied strictly from the code, that it's 7 a.m. until 8 p.m., Monday through Friday, and between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Sunday. So that is strictly code language. Were you able to pull that up?
So we want to limit this certain contractor where he can only start at 8 a.m., correct?
These were the hours on his report. Now, if he wants to change that on his application, he said these were his business hours. If he wants to change that, that's up to him, but from his application, he said he was going to be open from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. Normally, he gets back by 8 o'clock. He didn't want to get stopped by the police for being open. He unloads everything between 8 and 9, and then they move on. p.m.
Thank you. If he's willing to agree with that, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Okay. Clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? No. Egan? No. Caputa? No. Shildroth? No. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano? Parson? Yes. Siam?
Okay. Bill number 10238 has failed. The next item on the agenda is new business. The first item under new business is board appointments. Councilwoman Parson.
Yes, I would like to nominate Gary Maynard for property maintenance. He has accepted that he would like to take that over.
Seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The appointment is made. Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to move to appoint Steve Sutterer of Ward 6 to the Landmark and Historic District Commission.
Seconded by Councilman Egan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The appointment is made. The next item on the agenda is requests. Councilman Harris, myself, moves to approve the request from Tiffany Johnson to keep 3 hens located at 2540 Teakwood Manor Drive. Seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The request is approved. The next item on the agenda is resolutions. Resolution number 1080.
Resolution of the Florissant City Council supporting the Parks and Recreation Department to submit an application to the St. Louis Municipal Park Grant Commission for the Florissant Golf Club irrigation.
Councilman Shildroth moves for a second. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Resolution of the Florissant City Council supporting the Parks and Recreation Department to submit an application to the St. Louis Municipal Park Grant Commission for the Florissant Golf Club irrigation.
Councilman Shildroth moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Resolution of the Florissant City Council supporting the Parks and Recreation Department to submit an application to the St. Louis Municipal Park Grant Commission for the Florissant Golf Club irrigation.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this resolution? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes.
Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Pagano?
Yes.
Parson? Siam?
Resolution 1080 is adopted. Bills for first reading. This next item is bills for first reading. Councilman Egan.
Make a motion to remove bill number 10237 from the agenda.
Bill number 10237, there's a motion to remove it, seconded by Egan, seconded by Councilwoman Pagano. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The bill is removed. Bill number 10240. Oh, I'm sorry. Bill number 10242.
Ordinance amending ordinance number 7423 for Christopher Winter, DBA White Castle Systems Incorporated, to paint exterior brick wall at 840 North Highway 67 in a B5 Plan Commercial District.
Councilman Shildroth moves for a second reading. Is there a second? Okay. Councilman O'Donnell moves, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? You have a discussion?
Where are we at? Well,
Go ahead.
made a motion. What, are we on second reading?
I haven't read it yet, but yes.
Oh, because we didn't read it. Oh, oops.
Ordinance amending ordinance number 7423 for Christopher Winter. Sorry?
I believe it has to be unanimous in order to be.
Oh, did we have
read
no
a second
votes?
time.
Sorry, I didn't hear any.
That's right.
Did
Oh,
we
yeah,
have no's?
in order to
Oh, I apologize,
do
I didn't hear.
More than one reading and one.
more than one reading. Okay. So we'll need to wait on that one then.
So that does not kill the bill, correct?
It doesn't kill the bill.
Okay.
It does not.
If it's a third
It's just
reading, it would
first.
kill the bill.
That's right.
Correct.
Okay, so it would have to be unanimous in order to do 3 readings in a night.
I
Or do
apologize.
more than 1 reading in a
Yeah, so
night.
it's just that we didn't do the second reading. It's
Okay.
just done first.
Okay, so we'll wait on that
I
one.
didn't hear him.
All right. Bill number 10243.
Ordinance authorizing a special use for WFM LLC DBA STL Fish and Chicken Grill to operate a quick service restaurant at 12745 New Halls Ferry Road in AB2 Central Business District.
Bill number 10244.
Ordinance to approve the final plat for River Bluffs Plat 1 for the property located at 2700 Malamphy in a Planned Development District PDR.
Bill number 10245.
Ordinance amending a contract with PGAV Planners LLC for the urban planning services to update Chapter 405 zoning code, Chapter 410 subdivisions, and Chapter 520 signs and billboards for the Florissant Code of Ordinances.
Bill number 10246.
Ordinance authorizing a contract with Bridgefield LLC for asphalt materials.
Councilman Childeroth moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Egan. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a contract with Bridgefield LLC for asphalt materials.
Councilman Childeroth moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Roll call vote, please.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan.
Yes.
Caputa. Shildroth. O'Donnell. Pagano. Parson. Cyan. Ordinance authorizing a contract with Bridgefield LLC for asphalt materials.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan.
Yes.
Caputa. Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano. Parson. Cyan.
Okay. Okay. Bill number 10246 passes and becomes ordinance number 9229. Okay, bill number 10247.
Ordinance authorizing a contract with New Frontier Materials LLC for crushed stone sand material.
Councilman Childeroth moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a contract with New Frontier Materials LLC for crushed stone sand materials.
Councilman Childeroth moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa.
Third reading.
Third reading. Councilman Childeroth moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Any, all in favor? Aye. Roll call vote.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan.
Yes.
Caputa. Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano. Parson. Cyan. Ordinance authorizing contract with New Frontier Materials LLC for crushed stone sand materials.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan.
Yes.
Caputa. Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano. Parson. Cyan.
Bill number 10247 passes and becomes ordinance number 9230. Bill number 10248.
Ordinance appropriating equitable sharing agreement funds for the purchase of police equipment.
Councilman Shildroth moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance ordinance appropriating equitable sharing agreement funds for the purchase of police equipment.
Councilman Egan moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilwoman Pagano. Roll call vote, please.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan. Yes. Fuda. Yes. Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano. Yes. Parson. Cyan. Ordinance appropriating equitable sharing agreement funds for the purchase of police equipment.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan.
Yes.
Huda.
Yes.
Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano.
Yes.
Parson. Cyan.
Bill number 10248 passes and becomes ordinance number 9231. Bill number 10249.
Ordinance transferring leftover funds from the Willow Creek Sidewalk Project to a new project for improvements to the entry ramps and parking lot at Florissant City Hall.
Councilman Caputa moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilwoman Pagano. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance transferring leftover funds from the Willow Creek Sidewalk Project to a new project for improvements to the entry ramps and parking lot at Florissant City Hall.
Councilman Caputa moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilwoman Pagano. Roll call vote, please.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan.
Yes.
Caputa.
Yes.
Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano.
Yes.
Parson. Cyan. Ordinance transferring leftover funds from the Willow Creek Sidewalk Project to a new project for improvements to the entry ramps and parking lot at Florissant City Hall.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Okay, come on forward. This is the one. Please
It was
state
a
your
final
name for the record.
Mike Yavorski, 2959 Willow Creek Estates Drive. Couple comments. The first phase is done, the removal of the 76 trees. Those of you that got to see it, I think you were probably amazed. Those of you that didn't, you missed it. It was unbelievable. For the price that we were told it was done, I couldn't believe that that had taken place. The company did an excellent job, 7 working days, 4 one, 3 the next week, cleaned up everything. As far as the sidewalk, that's the next phase. We hope that goes as well, but just a little caution before either everybody's feeling a little giddy that this is gonna, we're gonna have some leftover. Let's make sure that this project gets done completely and correctly before we overspend on something else, and that we do take care of this. But again, excellent job on the first phase so far. We're not aware, we in the subdivision aren't aware of, we had the meeting and we were told what the price was on the trees. We're not aware of anything with the sidewalk, so we don't know what we're talking about. I don't know if there should be some transparency or not, but I just thought I'd make those comments. Thank you.
Thank you. I trust that that there will be the funding there for the sidewalks. So, okay. Are there any other comments from the audience? Okay. Seeing no further comments, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli.
Yes.
Egan.
Yes.
Huda. Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano. Parson. Cyan.
Bill number 10248 passes and becomes ordinance number 9231. Bill number 10249.
3-2, yes.
Where were
4-9 should be 3-2.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let me restate that. Bill number 10249 passed and becomes ordinance number 9232. All right. Bill number 10250.
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a supplemental agreement with HR Green Incorporated for construction, engineering, and inspection services related to the Malamphy Road Improvement Project.
Councilman Schildroth moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a supplemental agreement with HR Green Incorporated for construction, engineering, and inspection services related to the Malamphy Road Improvement Project.
Councilman Schildroth moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Roll call vote, please.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Yes. Egan. Yes. Caputa. Yes. Shildroth. Yes. O'Donnell. Yes. Pagano. Yes. Parson. Yes. Cyan. Ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a supplemental agreement with HR Green Incorporated for construction, engineering, and inspection services related to the Malamphy Road Improvement Project.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Yes. Egan. Yes. Caputa.
Yes.
Shildroth.
Yes.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Pagano. Parson. Cyan.
Bill number 10250 passes and becomes ordinance number 9233. The next item on the agenda is council announcements. Okay. Seeing none, the mayor's left. He couldn't be here tonight, but he had left some announcements. The Parks and Recreation Department has a family night out on July 17th, and it's going to be a bingo at the JJE Gym from 6 to 8 p.m. You do need to register for that event online or at the Egan Center. Music Under the Stars is underway, and Russo and Company, the band, is going to be there July 18th at 7 p.m. in St. Ferdinand Park. Florissant, we're celebrating our 240th. We're going to have a celebration July 29th at 5:30 p.m. This will be at the Shrine at 5:30 p.m. There's going to be a plaque unveiling, followed by music from the North Winds, and then at 7 p.m., something called Historic Treasures of Florissant. And then at 8:15, there's going to be a movie under the stars, and the movie will be National Treasure. The movie starts at 7:30 p.m. Again, that's July 29th. It's a family night down at the Shrine. And congratulations to Florissant on 240 years. Okay. All right, that's it for the announcements. The next regular meeting for the City Council will be on Monday, July 22nd, 2026. Councilman O'Donnell moves to adjourn the regular meeting. Seconded by Councilman Caputo. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned.